Most of you are probably familiar with the controversy over what type of sex education should be taught in our schools. Arguments over what the subjects should or should not be taught and in what ways they should be taught. This difference of opinions has been present since the early 1900s when the idea of sex education was first introduced, and they've been nearly 100 years later. The debate has still not been concluded as to what is the best form of sex education. There are two main types of sex ed that are at the forefront of this debate: abstinence only until marriage and comprehensive sex education. These two programs are at opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to what information should be taught. My main claim is that comprehensive sex education is a more effective form of sex education than abstinence-only programs. Just to define a couple of important terms, comprehensive education focuses on all of the aspects of sex rather than just a few aspects. It can include, but is not limited to, contraception, reproduction, STDs, dating, birth control, and even abstinence. I say that it's effective, I mean that it produces positive results that pertain to the major goals in the US when it comes to teen sex, such as lowering the rate of teen pregnancy and delaying the age of first intercourse. Abstinence only until marriage programs focus on and stress the importance of absolutely no sex before marriage. They do not acknowledge the possibility of teens having sex before marriage, and therefore they do not teach teens about contraception, abortion, and sometimes even STDs. If they do teach about contraception, it's only to emphasize their failure rates. So in explaining why comprehensive education is the more effective option, I will make the supporting claims that 1, it significantly aids in the lowering of teen pregnancy rates and STDs. 2, that it delays age of first intercourse. And 3, it offers a wide variety of knowledge and facts that teenagers need about sex, whether they choose to be sexually active or not. So my first claim, that comprehensive education significantly aids in the lowering of teen pregnancy rates and STDs. States that teach comprehensive education tend to have the lowest teen pregnancy rates, while states that teach abstinence only tend to have the highest pregnancy rates. And I got that from a peer-reviewed journal published in the Public Library of Science. In looking at the pregnancy rates for 2012 on the Center for Disease Control's National Vital Statistics Report and comparing them to the list of states and the sex education programs that they favor on the National Abstinence Education website, I found that of the 10 states with the highest teen pregnancy rates, 7 of those states focus on abstinence only. The other 3 do not have a program that they favor either way. Of the 10 states with the lowest pregnancy rates, which is what we want, only 1 of them favors abstinence only. The other 9, comprehensive education. These numbers show us that the majority of the states with the lowest pregnancy rates teach comprehensive education, again, which is what we want, while the majority of the highest stress abstinence only. Having the teen pregnancy rate be as low as possible is the goal, and comprehensive education appears to be more successful at that. A quote that really sums up the importance of this, again from that same peer-reviewed journal from the Public Library of Science. If abstinence education results in teenagers being abstinent, teenage pregnancy and birth rates should be lower in those states that emphasize abstinence more, which from those numbers we can see is not the case. Although abstinence is the only way to 100% avoid pregnancy, many teens do not actually choose to remain abstinent. A 2011 survey done by the Center for Disease Control found that more than 47% of all high school students in the US have had sex. This means that abstinence-only programs in grades 9 through 12 are too late for 47% of the students. If they are already sexually active, teaching them abstinence is not going to help them be safe and smart. Comprehensive education, however, gives teens the knowledge and facts they need about contraception in order to avoid pregnancy and STDs. And from the National Conference of State Legislators, girls aged 15 to 19 have the highest rates of gonorrhea and the second highest rates of chlamydia out of any age group in the US. Comprehensive education teaches about STDs and contraception and can teach these young girls about how to have safe sex, in turn lowering the rates of STDs. My second claim, comprehensive education delays age of first intercourse. Several studies have shown that programs that encourage both abstinence and condom use show significant positive impacts on delaying sex. The Community Preventative Services Task Force is an organization established by the US Department of Health and Human Services. They found that comprehensive risk reduction programs effectively reduced engagement in sexual activity, frequency in sexual activity, and number of partners. From the Guttmacher Institute, which does research and policy analysis of sexual and reproductive health, they did a study that found that 2/3 of the 48 comprehensive programs had positive behavioral effects on either delayed or reduced sexual activity. No evidence to date has been found to prove that abstinence-only programs delay sexual activity. And my third and final claim, that comprehensive education offers a wide variety of knowledge and facts that teenagers need, sexually active or not. No program can 100% guarantee that teens don't engage in sex before marriage, but comprehensive programs can help sexually active teens avoid pregnancy and STDs by giving them the information they need. Many comprehensive programs emphasize abstinence as the safest method and actually encourage it, but also provide ways to be safe if you choose not to abstain. Contrary to some beliefs, providing teens with this information does not make them more likely to engage in premarital sex. 55% of 7th to 12th graders say they have looked up information about sex online. Again, that's from the Guttmacher Institute. And we all know the internet can be a dangerous place when looking up information. Comprehensive programs not only focus on the act of sex, but also on morals, body image, relationships, and how to make healthy choices. So today, I showed you that comprehensive sex education aids in the lowering of teen pregnancy and STDs, that it delays age of first intercourse, and that it offers a wide variety of knowledge and facts that teens need about sex. And this is why comprehensive sex education programs are more effective than abstinence-only programs. Thank you.
All right, Lauren, the proposition is set up very effectively. I think your introduction does a good job bringing us in. You've got a clear statement of what the main proposition is. The secondary claims, when you get to them, it's, a little bit deeper into the speech. I thought that they were set up pretty clearly, and they're stated as declarative statements. So structurally and from a language point of view, you're doing okay there. The internal signposts are also very strong. It's easy to follow. You usually explain what the underlying concepts are. I think your credibility is enhanced a great deal by the variety of information that you use and by the confidence with which you deliver that information, so that helps quite a bit. The first piece of evidence that you cited on the first point, I thought that was only a partial source citation on that, but after that you were much more consistent on that. And then my other criticism of the evidence comes at the end when you've got a claim about how how comprehensive sex education is not shown to be related to encouraging sexual activity. That I thought there wasn't really much evidence on. It seemed to mostly to be an assertion. But between those 2 points, I thought your evidence was excellent. You were consistent about citing the sources. You had some good statistical information. You explained the comparisons and why these comparisons ought to be valid. So I thought that you built a strong amount of reasoning on those points as well. Like I said before, the delivery of the speech was also very strong, and I guess Paulo told you how exact you were on the time too. All right, thank you.